Representative LaMonica McIver is now making the rounds, attempting to say that these charges against her are completely ridiculous. She says that she would do nothing different, that this was just a routine visit to a detention facility. And of course, she was picked up by CNN, where she attempts to explain her actions, where she really doesn't explain her actions at all. All she is saying here is that she was conducting routine oversight by going to this immigration facility. And she, like I said, she says she would do nothing different. She is not backing down 1 inch, which is, of course, something that we expect. These types of people, they can't admit any wrongdoing whatsoever, even if it's clearly on video that shows her assaulting ICE officers. These are federal officers. She is not allowed to do that. You are not allowed to do that. I am not allowed to do that. But here is Representative LaMonica McIver giving her explanation of everything, talking about how this was just a routine visit, and she was actually the one assaulted. She is the one that had wrong done to her. And what Trump is doing, or his administration is doing, is heavy-handed. Take a look.
Would you have done anything differently?
No, I would not have. Once again, we showed up there to do a job, Kate. We were there for an oversight visit. We have done this before. You know, me, Congresswoman Bonnie Watson-Coleman, and Congressman Bob Menendez was just at a facility just a couple of weeks ago, not too far from this location, where we had an oversight visit, and we were a little bit delayed, but not, confronted or was in the middle of a chaos to do so. I think, number one, we have an obligation to do so. We have to show up and do our jobs. And at the end of the day, the reason why we were there is because we wanted to make sure this facility was up to par, that it was clean, that it was safe, and that the detainees there were, given due process, that they were able to use the phone, that they were able to speak to their legal representation, which we found out was not happening. But that was our reason. So despite, what Republicans are saying, about us, trying to break people out of jail, that's untrue. We were not there to do that. We were there to...
Wait, hold on a second. I don't think I heard one person, and I'm a guy who pays very close attention to what is being said online. I don't think I hear one person who said that they were trying to break people out of jail. I don't think I heard that at all. And this whole point, or this whole thing she brings up, where she says that their intentions of going to this facility were to try to make sure that these illegal immigrants had food and water and access to phones and all of that. Maybe that was their intention. I don't know. That's not what's in dispute here. What's in dispute here is the fact that whenever you got to the facility and these agents started having a problem with the presence that was going on at this facility, because they felt like the facility had been bum rushed. From what I understand, there was I believe it was a vehicle that went to enter the gate. The gate was opened and a bunch of these people rushed in. They ended up arresting the mayor, and she was upset that this was happening. So what did she do? Did she stand there and just vocalize her disdain for what was going on? No, she took physical action. And you can tell right here that she is not being forthcoming with what happened at all. This is LaMonica McIver. You could see. So that's Mayor Baracus, I believe his last name is, if I can remember correctly. He's the one that's being led away by this officer, and LaMonica McIver is literally shoving and pushing this agent. That right there is what is in question. And really, it's not a question at all. It's what she did. So she can say all day that their intention of going to this facility was to make sure that these people were being treated appropriately. Maybe she did, but she still did this thing as well.
Conduct an oversight visit, which after all of this, the chaos, Kate, they gave us a tour. We were all of this. We broke in, we assaulted people, all of these things that, Haba is saying and Republicans are saying.
Congresswoman, you are now facing a federal charge, though. Are you afraid of what's going to transpire now?
I mean, it's super unfortunate, Kate, that we have come to this point, in America, that this is what we see happening to leaders who are trying to do their jobs right.
Oh, there it is right there. It's super unfortunate that we've come to a point in our society where leaders and representatives and politicians on one side of the aisle, particularly the Democrat side of the aisle, are not above the law. This is the whole point right there. She thinks that just because she has an elevated spot in society as far as being able to make decisions that affect a wide range of people, she thinks that means that she is above the law. She doesn't have to follow the law, or at least when something like this happens where she does break the law, even in maybe the heat of the moment, she believes that she is not accountable for something like that.
It's the mayor of the largest city, rather it's a judge. We've seen this administration come after and attack, leaders for doing their jobs. It's political intimidation, and I will not be intimidated. I expect to continue to do my job.
So does not take accountability for it whatsoever. And I will remind you, this is not doing your job, LaMonica McIver. You were, in fact, impeding these federal officers from doing their job. And that, unfortunately for you, is against the law. Also, we have MSNBC, who is very upset about this. They have a meltdown over the fact that she was actually charged and that the law is being applied equally to someone like her. Take a look.
Breaking news, and we want to ask you about it, but apparently Alina Habba, who is, what's her job now? She's the acting.
Wait.
She's had a couple. She is the interim
What?
U.S.
She doesn't
Attorney
remember?
for the District of New
She's
Jersey.
acting all right.
She's acting. Well, she has apparently now dismissed charges against Mayor Ras Baraka of Newark, so no longer being charged. He went to court last Thursday, but it is being reported that she has apparently filed charges against New Jersey Congresswoman LaMonica McIver. And I'm wondering your reaction to this news as we're trying to find more information. I don't believe the indictment has been unsealed yet, but our team, NBC News, is efforting to find out. But just your reaction to this.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm just learning the news as we all are now. It is chilling. The reason why they're doing this is to shut me and my Democratic colleagues up. They're doing it to make us afraid. It's not going to work. If anything, it will only strengthen our resolve. But make no mistake about it, this is not normal. It is not the sort of thing that happens in healthy democracy. It is truly chilling. And I would urge all of my colleagues, both Democrats and Republicans, even those Republicans who say one thing in private about Trump, but then never want to say it in public, this should be a time when every member of Congress speaks out.
So just to offer a little bit of context here for anyone who might have not been totally dialed into the story,
Yeah.
3 members of Congress, one of them, full disclosure, my brother, show up at a detention facility in Newark, New Jersey, given their statutory authority to, show up to conduct oversight at these facilities. The mayor shows up. They accuse the mayor of trespassing. The members of Congress are holding on to the mayor. That is fundamentally what it's about. She went.
Okay, now that right there was a total lie. She says the members of Congress were holding on to the mayor. No, listen, you can show up, do your oversight, do whatever you say your job is. You can even probably hold on to the mayor. I mean, I think it would still be some sort of obstruction if the ICE agent was trying to lead them away. You're holding on. That's against the law. But it for sure is against the law when you attack them. But I just want to remind you, and this is your cringe video for the day, of who exactly MSNBC is. They are run by low IQ people. Particularly, the talking heads on MSNBC are very low IQ. This is one of the actual panelists here. This is how they act. And this video just says it all.
Back out. So we finished
It's a
the
wrap.
first episode.
It's a wrap. It's a wrap. I need a drink. I need a drink. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. And we're going to eat.
We're going to eat. We're going to eat.
We're going to be back tomorrow.
Meanwhile, in the back, they're like working.
I'm embarrassed.
Okay, come back.
I'm embarrassed for them, okay? I am embarrassed for, there used to be something called decorum, for these professional types. That's kind of the class that they would fall into. Professional type. They should be professional, active professional, and they should have some sort of decorum. But everything is just becoming ghettofied now, and it's sad to see, and it's seeping into our laws, it's seeping into our politics, and you can just see it everywhere. But what do you guys think? Oh, LaMonica McIver did nothing wrong. She was just trying to do her job. She was trying to do oversight of this facility, make sure these illegal immigrants had food and water and access to phones. That's all she was trying to do. And she was just wanting to check on these things when these very mean ICE agents came by, arrested the mayor, and now the U.S. attorney, Alina Habba, is going after her for doing absolutely nothing. And really, that's all you need to look at. You just need to remember, you just need to trust me. Trust me, bro. That's what happened, except for the fact that it's all on camera and it refutes everything you said. But what do you guys think? Let me know what you think down below in the comments. Like and subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it. But until then, I will see you on the next one.